Hey guys, this is SJ Football 16 and today I'll be revealing my predictions for week 37 of the Barclays Premier League. There's only 2 games left of the Barclays Premier League, including games in as well as game in hand, and there's things that are already certain already. We already know Leicester have won the league. Arsenal could still finish second if they want. Tottenham can't win the league and Arsenal obviously can't now. Man United could still make the top 4. And the relegation battle is pretty much undecided yet. Anyway, I'm going to start with an early match kickoff between Norwich City and Manchester United. I think this will be quite a tight game, I imagine, because Norwich and Man United both have something to play for, and there will be pressure on both teams. But I think Man United will probably come out with it better, and I think it's going to be 1-0 to Manchester United. This is because Man United definitely have a better team than Norwich. The pressure is starting to get to Norwich now. I'm not sure if they are going to stay in this division. And Man United, they could still finish in the top 4. They could finish above Man City if they want, which is possible still. And this is why I think it's going to be 1-0, and the score is going to be Rojo for them. Now I'm going to head over to the game between Aston Villa and Newcastle. Aston Villa, we already know, are relegated. Newcastle still have something to play for. They're out of the relegation zone as it stands, but Sunderland and Norwich have games in hand on them, which will be vital for all teams. However, I think Aston Villa are actually going to win this because Newcastle, there is pressure on Newcastle now, and Aston Villa have nothing to play for. They can just play freely now, I believe, and this is why I think it's going to be 2-1 to Aston Villa, with the scorers being Kieran Richardson with 2 for Aston Villa, and I think Johan Gouffran is going to score for Newcastle. And now I'm going to head over to the game between Bournemouth and West Bromwich Albion. I think the score in this is going to be 1-1. This is because both teams have something to play for still, but I think West Brom are safe now, and Bournemouth, they're almost safe for certain, but I think this point will definitely lessen the pressure a bit. It will be good to get a point against West Brom, and I reckon they'll definitely survive, Bournemouth. And I think the scorers are going to be Mark Pugh for Bournemouth, and I think it's going to be Salomon Rondon for West Bromwich Albion. And now I'm going to head over to the game between Crystal Palace and Stoke City. I think the score in this is going to be 3-1 to Crystal Palace, and the scorers are going to be Joe Ledley with 2 and Dwight Gale with 1 for Crystal Palace, and I think it's going to be Stephen Ireland for Stoke. It's because Stoke, they don't really have anything to play for, Stoke, at the moment, and Palace, they definitely have something to play for. The only thing Stoke really have something to play for is to finish in their consistent position, like they should be doing. And but Palace, I think they will definitely come out better of it. Wayne Hennessy's been really good in goals recently. I think he could keep them in the game. Maybe not quite keep the clean sheet. Palace definitely have a great attacking threat on them, and I think they should give Joe Ledley a chance again. And I think Dwight Gale's a good striker. He can definitely score a couple now and then. So this is why I think it's going to be 3-1. Now I'm going to head over to the game between Sunderland and Chelsea. I think the score in this is going to be, I actually think it's going to be 0-0, in all fairness. This is because Sunderland have something to play for and Chelsea don't, but Chelsea have a better team overall, but Sunderland will have more of a desire, but it will still be 0-0 because Chelsea they're playing consistently at the moment. I think the draw won't really make a difference to them, but it will make a difference to Sunderland. They could survive still. I believe they could still survive with Palace not playing as well. and that's why I think it's going to be 0-0. Now I'm going to head over to the game between West Ham United and Swansea City. Swansea, we already know have survived after beating Liverpool last week. I think the score in this game is going to be 3-1 to West Ham, and it will increase the chances of them making the top four. I believe they could finish above Manchester United or even Manchester City, but I think it's becoming more unlikely now. But Swansea, they don't really have anything to play for now because they know they're safe. They know that they don't really need to play as well as they have been anymore. But I still think they're going to score one, but they won't beat West Ham. West Ham are too good for them, in all fairness. I think the scorers are going to be Mark Noble with 2 and Andy Carroll with 1 for West Ham, and I think Jack Cork is going to score for Swansea City. Now I'm going to head over to the late kickoff between Leicester City and Everton. I think the score in this is going to be 1-1 because Leicester, they know they've won the league already, so there's not really that much to play for anymore because Everton are way below target. They should be like in the Europa League places, but they're not. And Leicester have achieved their target already of winning. Well, their target wasn't to win the league. They're way above target actually. But I don't think they'll have the desire anymore, in all fairness, because they know they've completed what they wanted to do, and there's no pressure on them anymore. So I think the scorers are going to be Conte for Leicester City, and I think it's going to be Gareth Barry for Everton. Now I'm going to head over to the Sunday kickoff between Tottenham Hotspur and Southampton. This is going to be quite a close contest. I think the final score is going to be 2-2 in the end. And I think the scorers are going to be Ryan Mason and Harry Kane for Tottenham. And I think Sadio Mane is going to score 2 for Southampton. It's because Southampton, they definitely have something to play for still. They could finish 5th or 6th still if West Ham and Man United don't play as well. And Tottenham, I think they've pretty much secured a European place now for next season, and I could see them getting a point here because both teams are actually similar in terms of ability. Their squads are just as good as each other, and I think Southampton normally play well against big teams, so this is why I also think it's going to be a draw in this game. Now I'm going to head over to the game between Liverpool and Watford. Watford, they've survived. We know that already. And Liverpool are aiming for 5th or 6th this season in terms of the league. They could make the Champions League still, as we know already, because of course they beat Villarreal. They beat Villarreal midweek. I think it was yesterday. I think it was. They beat him 3-0, so that could push their bid towards the Champions League. But we know they can't finish in the top 4, so I think that the final score is going to be 1-0 to Liverpool. I think the score is going to be Philip Coutinho. This is because Liverpool they definitely have a better score than Watford, and Watford aren't really playing for anything anymore. So I don't think Watford are going to get a goal here. And finally, I'm going to end this episode with a game between Manchester City and Arsenal. I think this is going to be quite a close contest as well, because both teams are playing for the same thing now this season. It's pretty much the bid of whoever will make the Champions League. The game, whoever will make the Champions League, as Liverpool have a Europa League final, which if they win, they'll make the Champions League, and the team in 4th won't be able to play. So I think the score in this is going to be 1-0 to Manchester City. And I think the scorer is going to be Sami Nasri in this, because I think Man City, I think at their ground, they're going to have a home advantage, so it will definitely it will give them the edge over Arsenal. In all fairness, and Arsenal this season is like slipping away from them. This season, they'll probably finish maybe third or fourth now. They're not going to finish second. They might not finish second now above Tottenham as they should be above Tottenham, but they're not this season. They should have been pushing for the league title. They've been below target in that. So this is why I also think it's going to be 1-0 to Man City. That's all from me for today, guys. Don't forget to like this video if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to this channel. And don't forget to comment on any changes you think should be made. I'll see you guys next week for my last episode of this series. See you guys next week.